Alright there folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Always a pleasure to see you. Got quite a few games that we need to go through today, so we'll try and waste no time on them. Like the video if you would, get yourself subscribed if you're not. 3 more, say it again, 3 more, that's all we need. Who's it gonna be? Who is it gonna be? We got quite a few last night, quite a bit more than what we usually get, so I appreciate that. I welcome you to the squad. Before we get into these games, I've just finished watching the Alex Michelsen game. I imagine you already know the result. I've got no words for that. He won the first set 6-2. I am utterly lost for words. I mean, severe mental collapse, possibly injury, maybe. I like to think if you're injured that bad and it's going like that, you just shake hands. But I don't know. If you watch the game, it weren't a bad read. I stand by the analysis, I really do. It's just a really bad beat on his half. Nothing you can do about that. As always, it will be a valuable lesson in our back pocket for the upcoming months. I think it'll take him a while to bounce back after a defeat like that. It's going to take some severe mental fortitude from Alex Michelsen, in my opinion. Unlike Alex Michelsen, I don't think I'm going to struggle to bounce back from today. As a matter of fact, I'd say the day of redemption is well and truly upon me. We'll start off in Rotterdam, as always. First off, we have got ATP and Constant Lestienne. I haven't plugged the mouse in, 1 second. Talk about preparation. Yeah, ATP Constant Lestienne, head to head 1-0 to Lestienne. I'm sure that was on the Challenger in quite some time ago. It's irrelevant anyway. ATP 1.2, rather big favourite, and I can't help but agree with that. Constant Lestienne was so bad against Boo. He was so bad. And the annoying thing about that was he was really good leading up to it. He beat Benoit Paire. Yeah, he beat Benoit Paire. Got it done against Terence Atman, and then, contrary to what a lot thought, he actually beat Bona Koric in straight sets as well, mind you. But then he played Boo and he looked terrible. Terrible. But then he hasn't lost a set since as well. He's beat, I can't even pronounce his name, I imagine he's Dutch. Qualifying for this, and then he should beat Daniel Altmaier. I mean, Daniel Altmaier, without sounding cruel, he is most definitely there for the taking on these type of surfaces, and he Artifice. You haven't really seen him play anyone. Yet, have we? We've seen him. He bumped into Hugo Humbert in the Australian Open, and I think we had Hugo Humbert to win that one. It ended up being not a walkover. He retired in that one due to the injury. So, although I am pretty certain Hugo Humbert would have beat him anyway, he's just beat Sabo Phil in the Davis Cup. He beat Quinton Hallis, Otto Werter, and he got beat by Alexander Muller in Hong Kong, for those that remember that. Muller actually won that tournament, so nothing wrong with that. Got it done past Zizou Bergs, and then he weren't too great in the next gens. All that aside, I'd imagine he'd still be too much for Constant Lestienne, I really do. I mean, 1.2, I know it's a bit of a steep price, but if you want my honest opinion, it's if you're looking for something just to sweeten the deal on your parlay, or if you've got a double, I'd say Artifice is definitely not going to lose. I can't see it. 1.2, 1.25, it may go up, it may not, I can't see it. He definitely gets that one done, in my opinion. We've then got Alexander Kovacevic, Gio and Pechi Pericard. We're getting Gio 1.55. Never played each other before. I'm slightly concerned for Kovacevic in this one now. Hear me out. I know he's just been so good, and I feel dirty even saying it about him, because he's done some bits for us over the past week. Fantastic. Was it Montpellier? Yeah, fantastic in the last tournament. Just didn't have enough, did he? Just didn't have enough in that final. It was very close in the end, but great stuff from him nonetheless. Really good showings. I'm just worried. Like, we know what version of Gio is going to turn up. Are we just going to get prime save bot Gio like he always is? Because if that's the case, Kovacevic will definitely struggle. It's that backhand, innit? one-handed backhanders are always going to struggle against, well, statistically, and it is a fact, the best server on the tour. I feel like, without going into it too much, I feel like Gio will just get enough free points off that serve alone. I really do. You know, pair that with the fact I think last time we seen Kovacevic he won the title, didn't he, on the Challenger, but let's just say go deep in a tournament, the next game he weren't too great, so maybe fatigue will be a factor. Um, I'd love him to win this one. It'd be great. I'd love him to win this one and just bounce back from, bounce back from his final defeat, but I can't see it personally. I'm not going to be betting that one. I probably would lean towards Gio just getting it done the way he usually does. But we'll move on to Struff and Fabian Madison. Now, Struff's beat him the last two times they played. Head-to-head's 2-1 to Jan-Lennard Struff. Yeah, he's won the last two. Usually close games as well. Very, very close games. Fabian Madison, not a bad dog here. Struff hasn't had the best start, has he? He got past Boo in the first round in Auckland, and then got beat by Gael Monfils, and then got beat by Felix Auger-Aliassime in the Australian Open, and then we haven't seen him since. I think Fabian Madison pretty much, he's done a lot. I'd say a lot better than what I expected, because I don't really know what I expect. He is pretty much a 50-50 player. He can be fairly inconsistent, but he was decent in Hong Kong. He beat Safiullin, beat Rublev, got beat by Jerry Shang. He's beat Sabo Field, beat Francis Tiafoe. He bumped into Sonego in the Australian Open, but we all know how that goes. And then he's just beat by Gabe Diallo in the Davis Cup, which is slightly concerning, but it proves me point. You can beat Tiafoe one day, and you can beat Rublev, and you can beat fucking Sabo Phil, but then you get beat by Gabe Diallo, and that's not taking nothing away from Diallo, but you get me point. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get something done against Struff today, especially, since we haven't seen Struff play much. I don't imagine he's improved much since the last time they've played either, and, if I had to bet on it, I don't even have to bet on it. We know for a fact Fabian Madison has made quite the improvement over the last 12 months, as opposed to Jan-Lennard Struff, so I'm not going to be going against him because I like Struff. He's one of my favourite players. Very, very solid to watch. Indoor courts as well, you can't help but mention it does most definitely suit his style of play when he is hitting. Whether he's going to turn up or not, I'm not too sure. It is still the first round, and you know what that means, so we'll see who deserves to be here on that one. We've got Vavasori coming up against Felix. Oh, dead easy. Felix wins that one, although I'm pretty sure the spread is 5.5 games on that, and you know what I always say, it's a lot of games. I wouldn't call you crazy for taking the underdog plus the points there. Although the way Felix is playing, I don't see him getting beat by him. I really don't. Just can't see it. You don't need me to tell you that, I'm sure. Few more, and then we'll go on to Dallas. Really? Got Matteo Berrettini, Italian Greek sport. I don't like this one. Berrettini's a favourite as well, 1.6, and I don't like that either. I'm not saying Greek sport should definitely be a favourite, but I don't think any of them should. You should just give us plus money for both of these players, honest to God. Italian Greek sport, I know he's at home, and he looked alright as well. He plays alright indoor tennis, I'll give him that, but Matteo Berrettini we've barely seen him. He weren't that good against Jordan Thompson in Brisbane. He ended up getting past Cam Norrie. Take that how you will. That was in the Australian Open, then he got beat by Holger Rune, and then here we are. That was it, just 3 games. Barely seen him. I'm always a bit concerned about the fitness of Berrettini. He just never looks fully fit to me. He looks like, I don't know. He just, I don't know. I was going to say he looks heavy, but that's probably the wrong word to use. He just does. He never looks fully fit. We'll just leave it at that. Italian Greek sport. we sort of called it that he was going to get beat by De Jong in Montpellier, even though he shouldn't have done. We sort of called it. That game against Richard Gasquet, I still haven't forgot. Still haven't forgotten about that. I don't think I will for a long time. If Richard Gasquet could give you that much trouble, I don't see why Berrettini couldn't. But I don't know. I just don't know. I've seen nothing from Matteo Berrettini this season that would suggest he should be that big of a favourite. I mean, if it was any other surface, maybe if we were on the grass or the clay, then yeah, all day I'd probably just take him, especially at that price. But no, I'm just gonna sit and watch this one. I do need to see more. It's all right. I don't mind. 1 unit on a little bit of patience there. Same for this one. Bellucci, Medvedev. Just take Bellucci plus the points in it. I'm sick of going on about it. I'm sick of mentioning this every time we have to talk about Daniel Medvedev. He's been one of my favourite players. He still is. But it pains me to see a player of this calibre struggle so much. So much. It's not even like he's like nearly turning 40 or not, and he's not even 30 yet. I just... I don't know what it is with him. He's won so much. A player of this prestige should not be in a spot that he's in. Like, I think it's safe to say, like, these Daniel Medvedev games, especially over the past few months, they seem to have an aura surrounding them. The aura being, I don't know what's going to happen. They've all got a weird sense, haven't they? A weird feeling like this could just go either way. You don't know what's going to happen. He did get past Stan Wawrinka, but did anyone watch it? Did anyone watch it? I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. I didn't like what I seen in that game. Matteo Bellucci shouldn't be a problem for Daniel Medvedev, especially on the hard court. It shouldn't even be a question, but the fact that I'm sitting here doubting it just goes to show you the state that he's in. I'm fully expecting him to beat Matteo Bellucci, but he's 1.16 on the decimal, and that's pretty much identical to what he was against Stan Wawrinka. And I think unserious is the word that I've used quite often, and it still rings true. He's got this unserious look about him, and I'm not saying I'm questioning his commitment. That's far from what I'm getting at. I'm really not, but sometimes that's what it looks like, and especially in these 500s, and especially in the 250. You don't really see him in 250s, but if it's not a Masters or a Grand Slam, he just seems to have this look that I'll win because I can, but if I'm not, then I just won't. So I imagine Matteo Bellucci can keep that close 4.5, 5.5. I don't know. I might just be talking nonsense. He might up his game for that. He is the number 2 seed in this, although I'd expect him to be the number 1 seed, but that's neither here nor there. Medvedev should be getting that one done. And we'll close off in Holland with Yuri Lehechka, Hubert Hurkacz, probably the most interesting one of the card over there. 1.8 for Lehechka last time he played. Hurkacz did beat him. When was that? I will tell you now. Bear with me. That was in Rotterdam last year. Yeah, fairly close game. I think that's going to happen again. I can't see it. Seen a lot of doubt already around Yuri Lehechka. Why, man? I mean, said he was going to do Popperin today, didn't he? And do him he did. Straight sets, nice and easy. Hubert Hurkacz, okay, he did beat Flavio Cobolli, but we've spoke about Flavio Cobolli quite a lot already this season. He's just not firing. He's just not with it. So I win against someone like him in the current form he's in, holding no weight. Unfortunately for me, he still looked awful against Kekmanovic. I said it the other day and I'll say it again now. He still looked really bad. He beat Talon Griekspoor before that, but what you'd expect. Yuri Lehechka still, apart from that loss against Djokovic there, he still remains undefeated on the season. Go through him dead quick. Nishioka, Yari, Dimitrov, Pelka, 2, Gaston, Bonzi, someone called Campagna Lee, and then Alexei Popperin. I don't see why he'd struggle against Hubert Hurkacz. I really don't. Hubie can be really good when he's at 100%, and when he's playing his best, he can be very hard to beat. We know that. There's no denying it, but we know he's got a stinker in him. He's already had a 50-50 start of the year already. I wouldn't be surprised to see him lose this game. I really wouldn't. It'd be more of a shock to me if he won. I just think Uriel is better. He may not have as hard of a serve, but everywhere else you'd say is better. His game's definitely better. Um, I wouldn't mind taking him, I'm very, very tempted to take him. I just can't see Lehecka getting beat unless it's like a Yannick Sinner or someone like that. Evidently, it's going to take someone really, really good to beat him when he's playing like this, and this definitely is some of his best that we've seen. I might just take it as a single. It's good enough, 1.8 Uriel Lehecka there to beat Hubie. Anyone? Don't know, let me know in the comments. I've seen Hubert Hurkacz be so inconsistent more often than what I've seen Lehecka, and especially like I've just mentioned this season, Uriel Lehecka give you no reason to go against him, especially in a spot like this and with a price like that. I feel like I can't help myself. But that will wrap us up in Rotterdam, and we'll touch on Dallas really, really quick. There's a few stinkers in here, but there's a few gems dotted about. We'll try and get them. So, look, quick fire on this. Carbide Spainer, Michael Mo. I completely forgot about Michael Mo. I really did. So that alone just goes to I can't bet on this game. I could not bet on this game. Especially we've seen Carbide Spainer make some significant improvements over the past few months, especially on the hard court. So I don't know. That could go either way. Mo did look good in qualifying. I checked his stats, but yeah, not enough for me. We'll wait and see. Nishioka, Binach. Now Binach probably should be winning that one. Head to head is one apiece, although Binach hasn't been looking too good lately. So once again, that's going to be a stay away from me. Jami Munar and Boo, is that? Yeah. I like Boo in that. I like Boo there. We all know what Boo's about. When he's on form, he can be very, very hard to beat. Certainly very hard to break. Munar though, feel like I've got to mention he did look really good on the hard court. He's also made some really good improvements, got some decent wins at the start of the season in Hong Kong. Davidovich Fokina, Nuno Borges, Lorenzo Musetti. You'd have probably written him off in every one of them games. Ended up getting to the semi-finals where he got beat by Muller, who then went on to win the tournament, and then he's just been beat by Casper Ruud, and it was a very, very close game in the Australian Open. So I don't know, providing Boo turns up and he plays not necessarily his best tennis, but if Munar's going to turn up like he turned up to start of the season, you will have to play close to your best. I know it sounds strange, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jami Munar keep this one close, although I do think Boo beats him. 1.5, not a bad price. Not a bad price at all, but we shall move on. In fact, you know what, we'll just knock out this shite dead quick. Yeah, Taylor Fritz will beat Artur Rinderknech. I'm certain of that. He's 1.1, biggest favourite of the day. No value there, I imagine. I don't know, Artur Rinderknech could take a set if he's serving well. I don't know. I wouldn't bank on it. Head-to-head's 2-0 to the American. I imagine he makes it 3. Kekmanovic and El Chapo. I can't wait to watch this one, but I'm not going anywhere near it. That should be very, very interesting. El Chapo is a big favourite. Head-to-head's 5-0. Oh my days. Oh my days, he's beat him 5 times in a row. And most of them, the last 2 have been relatively close games as well. He really have. I want to take Shapo, but Kekmanovic has been really, really good this season. He's been beaten by Holger Rune twice and Sebastian Korda. That's it. Beats everyone else. El Chapo, he blows hot and cold. He's too inconsistent at the moment. Too inconsistent. I had high hopes, very high hopes for El Chapo coming into the season, especially the way he finished last one, but he just hasn't quite managed to recapture it, so I will sit off that one. Which one? Don't know what to finish off with here. Ralia Pelka, Shevchenko. I'm pretty certain Pelka beats him. I'm pretty certain Ralia Pelka beats Alexander Shevchenko here in Dallas. Ralia Pelka has won the title in Dallas a couple of times before, so he's no stranger to the conditions. Look, it's his first round. in the States against Alexander Shevchenko. If I can't stick Riley Pelka on me parlay at 1.4 today, then I don't know if I can ever take him again. He's looked fairly decent. When he can hold up, he looks fairly decent. You know, he fucking beat Djokovic. Do we remember, or have we all forgotten? He beat Djokovic at the start of the season in Brisbane. Ended up retiring against Yuri Lehechkin, and then, although he was a little bit compromised, he was struggling a bit with an injury, he went all the way with Thomas Mahatch in the Australian Open. That's no joke. That's no joke. Thomas Mahatch is a really, really good player, and he's quite a dark horse to take this tournament too, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Riley Pelka, all day. All day. I don't even want to hear about it. If for some reason he gets beat, then I'll hold my hands up and say I fucked up, but I just can't see it. And then, finishing us off, we've got Nishikori, Thomas Mahatch, 1.5 for Thomas Mahatch. And I could be wrong, but providing all goes how I think it's going to go, I think Thomas Mahatch is going to win this game. I really do. Although, let's not sleep on Kai Nishikori. We all know that on his day, if you stand a chance of beating someone like this, you are going to have to play a very high level of tennis. You cannot give him an inch, because he will take it and he will punish you. I think Thomas Mahatch is just, I don't know, I really like him, you know. I think he's a very, very solid tennis player. What is he now? Top 20 for you, 25 in the world. Nishikori, 71 in the world. Remember Nishikori in Hong Kong? We all thought he was going to win it until he got beat by Alexander Muller. He beat El Chapo, he beat Kachanov, beat Cam Norrie, beat Jerry Shang. Decent wins. He's been beat by Alexander Muller, Tommy Paul, Jacob Fernley. And then he should beat Billy Harris in the Davis Cup. And if anyone's still watching, Holger Rune's just fucking beat Lorenzo Sonego, which, if anyone remembers the video yesterday, that makes the Alex and Michelson loss even worse for me. I was going to take Holger Rune. Although Ben Shelton still might get beat, and then it was all for nothing anyway, so we'll wait and see. I think Thomas Hatch beats him. I think this has got all the makings to be probably the most entertaining match of the day, in my opinion. Like I said, I could be wrong. Thomas Mahatch could just beat him in straight sets. If I know Nishikori, and I like to think I do, he's not going to go down without a fight. Mahatch will definitely have to bring it today. And I'm willing to bet he does. I'd be taking Thomas Mahatch there if I was looking at that. 1.5. Yeah, sweet. Sweet as a nut. And that'll do it. That'll do you, folks. Sound. Get all your best bets and all that in the comments. Let me know what you're going for. I'll be saying good night to you. Like I said at the start, 3 more. Only need 3 more. We may get them this video, we may not. We did get a lot more than usual over last night's video, so could just chalk that off to luck. May just be how things are going to start going. So if anyone's watching and you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Do me the favour, do yourself the favour, right? Take it easy then. Take it easy, take care of yourself, take care of one another. Let's go redeem ourselves. Oh shit, I haven't even said what I'm going for, have I? I haven't even said what I'm going for. If you've made it this far, it may not even matter because it'll be pinned. Artifice, Riley Pelka, 1.7. Fucking sound. Lock it in, stick it in your back pocket. Thank me tomorrow. See you in a bit. Let's go get that cash today. See you tomorrow.